Hello everybody, this is Simon with Let's Play Mega Man Zero. Warning, we're about to tackle the worst mission in the game. I'll try and do my best to liven it up. First little briefing though. Of course we will help her. A nice thing that we're going to see very soon is that CL does talk to us even more about the mission after this point here, but she doesn't stop the game to do so, contrary to how Alia did it, for example, in X5, which is a great new idea and should have been there in the first place. Another innovation this mission is, you're going to the left. Shocking, I know. And I really do like how the debris of a long-forgotten war is strewn around in the desert. It really livens up the place, makes it not that boring to look at. And Pogo! And is also key to the level design. So yeah, the Pogo move is pretty great with the triple rod. Great fun, pretty tough to pull off though. What you're going to see me do here is use the Buster more often than I really should, than I really would in a normal playthrough, but I'm trying to level it up another level. Just to prove that by playing normally and favoring the weapon you like, you can definitely level it up without any grinding. This part here is bullshit, because the falling platforms don't ever respawn. Meaning that if you fuck it up once, you will never be able to get this elf here again in this playthrough, apart from maybe a little jumping trickery with the triple rod. I don't know, I haven't looked into it that much. This part is also a big beginner's trap because you really want to destroy the sand vortex generator. Because contrary to most enemies in the game, those will not respawn. And this is going to become very important in a few minutes. You're going to see it when I come to it. So really, so far this mission is not the worst, but it has a few stupid design decisions, just like, well, the whole game does. For example, upcoming here is this wind generator, which lets those stones orbit around it, which block shots and makes it pretty damn tedious to kill, especially with the constantly blowing you back. It's really nothing more than a little distraction, because those also don't respawn. And if you are smart enough to take up the trap here in advance, well then you're pretty much set. And yeah. So, about the Pogo Jump too. Zero will only Pogo Jump on with the weapon extended for some reason if you destroy the enemy you're jumping on. For some reason this trap here took 4 hits with the triple rod and not 3, so I jumped right into the other one without even wanting to. Obviously. So it can be kind of tricky to pull off, and it's also somewhat glitchy, so a nice move, a fun move, but not the most intuitive one. Anyway, I talked all over his introduction, but I don't care, because I really don't like this boss. He is really tough for a beginner, and once you figure out his pattern, it's disgustingly easy, but still tedious as all hell. I am deliberately prolonging the battle so I can shoot more zombies with my Buster, but apart from that, he really is pretty damn tedious, as I said. His moves contain just throwing his staff down where you are, then changing sides, and coming from there, getting the staff back. Whenever you hit him for a certain amount of times, he will go back into the ground and spawn those pillars, which is the really tedious part of the whole affair. It also gets rid of all the zombies, so it is definitely a vital part of his strategy. So, because you can get swarmed by zombies pretty easily, if you let him do his thing and summon more and more of them, then you will have to do cleanup, and this is even more tedious. You can cheese him pretty easily if you're doing what I just tried to do, stand below him and stab upwards with the triple rod, because it will give him a very short invincibility time. So you can constantly stab him, but it's obviously not feasible when zombies are standing below him. I'm only waiting for the Buster upgrade right now, and then we can finally deal with him a quicker way. So yeah, what you want to do is time your hits so that he will only go down the sand 4 times, so you don't have to deal with the extremely tedious pillars that often. A big problem with how the fight plays out, especially for a newbie, is that you're really not that used to jumping over those things here, and it can be really hard to do so at the beginning. So, and once you know what to do, it's really easy, so not the best design, definitely. So, what I just demonstrated was that I can imbue my Buster Shot with elements now, that I can charge it to the full. However, there is a weakness chain in this game, that is, fire kills ice, kills electro, kills fire, but they're also immune to each other, because ice is immune to electro, electro is immune to fire, fire is immune to ice. For some reason, Anubis Necromancer is ice affiliated, so my electro chip does nothing against him. I would have to kill him with fire, but I have no way of getting the fire chip right now, making him even harder for a newbie. Well, that's it. Them's the breaks. But as I said, this is the worst mission in the game, and we're going to reach the point of where it is becoming readily apparent, because it is not at all over. We have to escort this guy here back to our starting point, meaning doing the whole level over again. And there is a certain problem with that, because he is slow as fuck and will stand back if you just leave him off the screen. So I have to constantly edge forward just a little bit, and it is the worst thing. It's so extremely fucking tedious just doing this. And another problem. If I didn't have the triple rod, then I would have to do what I'm doing right now and use the combo of the saber. Which is absolutely impossible in hard mode, because you cannot get a saber combo. You cannot also really feasibly jump over the traps and get at them with the sword. And obviously not if they're on below you with the Buster. So the triple rod is the best option. However, you might have noticed that the mission I got the triple rod for was the last mission in the row of missions presented to you at the start. So if you're just taking them in order that the game suggests, then you won't have the triple rod for this mission. Which is bullshit, because it's absolutely required for dealing with the traps. Yeah, the worst mission. And similar to how it played out in the intro stage, we are not allowed to get him hit if we want to preserve a high rank. That's not a concern in this time around, but for the hard mode one it will be very infuriating, and if you get him hit too often, then he will plain die and you have to start all over again. Not fun at all. And another big problem, sometimes you can do nothing to prevent damage on him, and if you remember, I took out those sand vortexes, but the second one really leads itself to being skipped over by going over it. If they are still active though, then good luck not getting him hit. Really, I wish you the best thing, the best luck in the world, because it's going to be very fucking hard. So, triple rod upgrade, I can now triple stab. Nobody did see that one coming. And trying to do it here, but it's getting kind of disasterific. Doesn't matter though, it's not really that useful. This is the worst part, because as you just saw, the snake can spawn directly below him, and there was nothing at all I could do to avoid that. If you do not take it out immediately, then shit like that will happen, and it's absolutely not feasible taking the snake out immediately, because it spawns below you in the first place. So right at the end is the hardest part of avoiding damage, which is going to be a big problem in the hard mode run. But anyway, thank God that this is over. I fucking hate this mission so much. It's so incredibly tedious going back, it's taking so long of a time. I didn't take my time too much, and it's still 10 minutes. Incredible. Like the video is, the mission is still 7, but it's far too long. And as I said, it's really hard getting a high rank here. It's going to destroy you completely. And Anubis is a complete and utter butt the first time around. Didn't exercise this one because it's very short. So definitely, if you want to tackle this mission, take the triple rod, I implore you. And do the very easy retrieve data mission first. yeah, anyway, hope you could keep this entertaining enough. Thank you very much for your continued attention.